This is Eric Partaker, and this is Eric Partaker. He's a CEO coach who's worked with people like Ali Abdaal and Sahil Bloom, and today we're going to go over his video sales letter that he has on the landing page for his program, Founder and CEO Accelerator. First off, we'll look at the page here, and then we'll get into the script and how the video is structured so that you can do something similar for your program. And first off, if we look at the landing page here, what you'll see is that the video is front and center. It's not so big that it draws attention away from the other elements that are important, but it's just big enough that if you're there to watch it and you want more information, you can click on it, learn more information, and still see everything else that you need to know so you can actually apply and see the program content and everything. They also have this scarcity. They also have this clock. They also have this countdown timer here. So they also have this countdown timer here to really push a little bit of knowledge. They have a lot going on this page. And one of the things they have is this countdown timer here to let you know when the next cohort starts. So you'll watch the video, you'll learn more about the program and who he's worked with, and then you'll scroll the page and then potentially apply. That's the hope. And so let's dive into the actual video here. I'm going to show you the structure of it really quick, and then I'll show you the structure of it really quick, and then I'll show you the actual script and storyboard that we need to be paying attention to. Okay, let's dive into the actual video. I'm going to show you the structure really quick, and then we'll dive into the actual script here that I have broken up, and I'll explain each section of it to you so that you can use it as a structure for your own VSL. First off, when we look at the actual video here, what you see is that there's two distinct sections. There's a section of Eric talking here, and then there's a section of just testimonials. Introduce the program, use social proof, and then sign off. That's what it is. It's buttoning up the testimonials with a sign off and an introduction to the program so you know what you're about to learn about from these other people that have worked with him. So we'll watch this in a second, but let's dive into the actual script really quick, where what we'll see here is that it starts off with a simple introduction to who he is, and then his experience and why you should listen to him, and then what the actual problem is. Most businesses or CEO coaching focuses on just scaling a business and the solution to that, which is why the CEO Accelerator takes a 3-pillared approach to delivering outcomes. This is really, really smart. It's great for getting you down the video so that you automatically know when you click on the video and you start watching that this is somebody who's credible. And then you learn right away about what he believes the biggest problem most CEO coaches face, which is that most coaching focuses only on scaling. So then how is he different? What is his solution? That's what CEO Accelerator is. And so if you've already gone through CEO coaching and you know that you need somebody who's had experience and been where you've been, but you don't want to just focus on scaling the business because you have other problems than that, then this is already showing that CEO Accelerator is a great path forward. After he talks about that most CEO coaching focuses only on scaling a business, he makes the solution of CEO of Accelerator not focusing just on scaling, but he talks about that. He goes, number one, you're going to learn how to successfully scale. And then he talks about how his experience applies to that. So he's going to pull from that. And then he talks about how you're going to become a world-class CEO and how he's going to give you the techniques and principles that led to make him CEO of the year. So what you're looking at here is feature, benefit, but kind of swapped. He's telling you what the transformation is going to be: scale your company, become world-class CEO, and then how he's going to do that, which is his feature essentially. His experience is how he's going to help you get there. So that's how he's sandwiching. He's introducing himself, explaining why he's the person you should be listening to, and then giving you the introduction into the program so you know what you're going to get before you learn from everybody who's worked from him in the past. Pretty much takes these 3 points that he has earlier in the video, and he buttons them all up to summarize them, and then let you know that you're not going to feel alone because you're going to be going through it with a community of other CEOs. So that's how he positions this whole thing as the ultimate place that you won't get anywhere else, as to learn how to be a better CEO, because you're not just going to be focusing on what most people focus on. And then it's going to be 12 weeks where you're going to transform from CEO who doesn't know what they're doing to CEO who's world-class and peak performer. So it's really, really smart. I love the way that this script is structured and built out because it tells you exactly what you need to know along the way so that you're not confused at any point in time. And then he says, but don't just take my word for it. I've coached and mentored over 100 CEOs. And then he gets into testimonials. After the testimonials, he then comes in and he buttons up the back end of the video with, remember, nobody reaches the top on their own, and then that you don't have to, so join him and apply so that you don't have to deal with being alone, learning how to be a CEO, and failing along the way all alone. Come with a group of people, learn how to do it, I'll teach you, and boom, you'll be better because of it. So let's look at the actual video really quick, and I'll break down more of what goes on in this video. We're going to skip over the testimonials because all you need to know is that these testimonials are pretty long, but they're talking about the reason, or they're talking about the benefit of working with Eric versus working with other CEOs, because CEO coaches, because they've all seen massive benefit. And what you'll see here is that Ali Abdaal is probably the longest testimonial because he's probably going to be one of the biggest names known in that CEO space or the business space in terms of like productivity and stuff like that. So you might as well give him a lot of bandwidth to talk about the testimonial of how working with Eric has transformed his business. So let's start from the beginning and we'll go through the video together. I'll pause it and explain little bits and pieces wherever I can, but this way you get a sense for what the video actually is, and then we'll summarize how you can do this for yourself.
Hi, I'm Eric Partaker, and this is the CEO Accelerator, an affordable world-class program designed to help the CEOs of SMBs.
He's calling out who it's for right there, right?
Having spent most of my career as a CEO,
and now he's transitioning into why you should listen to him and what his expertise is.
I know firsthand how hard it is to scale a company. I know what it's like to be expected to have all the answers, but then not feeling like you do. Over the last 25 years, I've advised Fortune 50 CEOs while at McKinsey & Company, helped build Skype's multi-billion-dollar success story, and built several of my own businesses.
See, if you've noticed there, he talked about the problem that most CEOs face, and then he positions his experience as this is how he knows exactly what you're going through.
Along the way, I've been recognized as the CEO of the Year and the #1 creator in the world on LinkedIn within management and leadership. You see, most business or CEO coaching focuses only on scaling the business. But you won't successfully scale your business if you don't scale your leadership and yourself, which is why the CEO Accelerator takes a 3-pillared approach to deliver 3 outcomes. Number 1, you're going to
see, now, if you look at the edit here, it's really simple. It goes talking head, and now it cuts a little bit to the side, and we're showing off the, like, what are you actually going to get. Now, if I was Eric here, instead of just saying, number 1, how to scale your company, I would try to use some B-roll to show what that actually looks like. What are the documents that you're going to give or the curriculum you're going to go through to teach them how to scale your company, right?
In the program, I'll draw on whichever experience is most relevant, whether strategy from my time at McKinsey, rapid execution from my time at Skype, or people management from having employed over 2,000 people in the various businesses that I've built. Number 2.
So one thing I'd like to note here in terms of like the edit is that I'm noticing something where the cuts feel a little bit awkward, but I like the fact that they're going in and out because it provides some level of pattern interrupt for the viewers so that you don't get too bored listening to him talk. But I would almost rather just see him like just talking with less cuts in and out. But there's a weird cut here when it just transitions to him on the side, like putting up the number 2 or number 1. I would rather just not be cut in here and then just be like out and then straight to the side potentially, but maybe that doesn't work out. So that's one of the notes that I have, is that the cuts feel a little bit awkward, but the overall video, it doesn't distract too much from it, so it doesn't matter that much.
From having employed over 2,000 people in the various businesses that I've built. Number 2, you'll learn how to become a world-class CEO. In my own journey, I recognized it was one thing to start a company as a founder and another to scale one as a CEO. During our time together, I'll share the
See, there's transition pieces. I don't think they're needed. You can just do cuts or put some B-roll in there about who he was and where he was in his career. Show some photos of him in his previous CEO roles. Do something, show his reward for being a CEO of the year. Do something other than just talking head here instead of those weird transition cuts.
techniques and principles that led to my CEO of the Year recognition so that you can become a stronger, more decisive, and inspiring leader. Number 3, you'll learn how to become a peak performer. As a peak performance expert, here I train in evidence-based principles, including behavioral science from Stanford University, so you're able to perform at your absolute best. You'll learn how to supercharge your productivity, manage your time like a pro, and do so in a healthy, sustainable way. And last but not...
So I love the fact that this is paced really well. I wish there was a little bit of music underneath potentially, because I think that would add to the emotion behind what he's talking about and also add to the emotion of the audience would be feeling. But the pacing of the video itself is really good, and it's not so fast that you're not getting all the information, but it's just paced well enough that like it feels authoritative and that you can trust Eric.
At least you'll no longer feel alone, because you're going to be doing this with other CEOs just like you so that we can all support and learn from each other. You see, the CEO Accelerator is actually a 12-week transformation program, a unique blend of company building, leadership development, and peak performance that you will not find anywhere else. And through a combination of curriculum, coaching, and community, you'll learn how to successfully scale your company, become a world-class CEO, and perform at your absolute best. But don't just take my word for it. I've coached and mentored over 100 CEOs to date, and here's what some of them have to say.
Okay, so we'll pause there, but see how well that's put together. The script here that we just went over beforehand really comes in handy for this actual edit here, because he's just speaking it, but the way that he's speaking it, he's doing talking head. He's providing you some level of visual here. I would prefer much more visual. Can we show curriculum? Like I said, can we show photos of him in his CEO roles? How can we up the ante on showing his credibility as a CEO coach and as a previous CEO? And then if we can add some music to the back end of it, then we'll add in more emotion and build more excitement around working with him in this program. So we'll skip over the testimonials here and we'll just hop to the end so that you can see how he ends off this video.
Remember, nobody reaches the top on their own. Nobody. And with the CEO Accelerator, you don't have to. So join me and a group of like-minded CEOs. You'll take the pain and friction out of scaling and take your business, your leadership, and yourself to an entirely new level. Apply today, and let's close the gap between where you are and where you'd like to be.
See, that's perfect. It's a great call to action of just apply today, because if you're feeling this problem, the CEO Accelerator will help with that. If you want to make something like this for yourself, what I would recommend is this, and we're going to look at his script as a structural thing, because what really matters is the script and then your delivery of that script. What you want to do is introduce yourself and then let them know who you are, what your experience is, and call out the problem, the pain that your customers are going to feel, and talk about why you're the person to solve that. Then you want to get into what you're actually going to be giving them and what those benefits and features are, the transformation that they're going to be getting from the course or program that you have. Lastly, if you're going to follow his structure, which is a really great structure, then you want to add testimonials. I would cut down the testimonials to respect some time, but if you want to just put in the full testimonial, that's perfectly fine like he did. So you can do the 3 testimonials and then button it up with a nice call to action, inviting them to apply or inviting them to join. But ultimately, what you want to do is introduce yourself, talk about the pain, position your product or program as the solution, talk about how your program is going to solve that problem, the exact things that you're going to get, the transformation they're going to see throughout it, and then social proof and call to action at the end. So that's how you can do something really similar for your program. But I really love how Eric put this together, and I'm pretty sure that on this landing page, it probably does a lot of work for him, because he's able to have this here, and then if you're just scrolling the page, you can skim this and then come up and watch this to get more information and then learn from the people in the testimonials. But I would definitely, if I was him, moving forward, if I was to redo this, I would cut down the testimonials here, and then I would, instead of using text on the screen of 1, 2, 3, I would really put in a lot of B-roll of like who he is, the kinds of things that we're going to be teaching and stuff like that, without giving too much away. And I would also showcase the community in some way, the kind of questions they're going to be asking, the kind of answers they're going to get, stuff like that, so that anybody who is joining could really see what the benefits and the features are and really get a sense for what the program's actually like before they click apply, before they buy. So that's what I would do. If you want to see another breakdown like this, then let me know. Leave down in the comments who I should break down next.